Joburg Film Festival will kick off today in Sandton, Johannesburg, and will run until the 5th of February. So you've got plenty of time to catch a couple of flicks. The festival aims to create an exciting and independent platform that not only tells Africa's stories, but curates, showcases, and rewards local and international excellence in film. It will showcase some of the finest films from countries across the globe and the continent. We're now joined for more on the film festival by Tim Mangwedi, Joburg Film Festival Executive Director. Tim, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Zidi, for having me on studio today.
So after a while and a break, it's back. It must be an exciting feeling.
Yes, it is back. It is back, and we're having goosebumps because we have quite a lot in store. We've managed to curate, to go all over the world and find over 60 best films that the world has to offer today. And out of that, we've got 27 South African premieres, 32 African premieres. So it is great to be back.
Yeah, it must also be a daunting task because talking about choosing, we'll get to that, you know, what makes it onto the lineup and what doesn't. But why is it so important? Because we speak about storytelling and the importance of storytelling and owning our stories, maybe in particular for the continent, as we play with the world.
Yes, I mean, it is very important that we welcome all the storytellers to the City of Gold, Johannesburg. But what is important is that we took a view that, you know, when we started the film festival, and said, what is the human truth between creating a film and JFF as a brand? And the human truth is that it's a story. You know, what connects both is a story, because of people go out there, they create stories, but what happens with the story? So we wanted to create the story into a gold, because our stories are now the gold that we should take to the world and sell to the world, and hence that we think it's very important that we have to change the narrative of how African stories are being told, and before people will come here and tell our African stories. As I said, you know, the story of the lion is always told by the hunter, but not by the lion. And we want to change that narrative. Absolutely.
How did you manage to whittle it down to 60 flicks?
Look, I mean, we fortunately enough, you know, we went and we appointed Keith Cherry. Keith Cherry is a well-known film critic, scholar. He works with BFI, British Film Institute. He is our curator for this year's edition of the Joburg Film Festival. Assisted by Jack Chen, they go around the world and find the best gems that we can possibly see. But what is important with this selection is that it is about the independent film producer, and particularly an African independent film producer who doesn't have the platform to be able to showcase their talent and their films. And that's what we are doing, to make sure that 60% of the content that's going to be showcased is African films.
Yeah, what is it that they go through, these independent film producers, especially here on the continent? I can guess finances being top of which is a problem.
It's finance. It's also access to you know, technology, and you know, just to create an enabling environment for them to be able to create their films. But I mean, we see that is changing now with you know, with the likes of you know, MultiChoice investing a lot of money into African content. Showmax is coming on board now, and obviously, I mean, your sister brand Movie Room is now also, you know, going to invest in making sure that they invest in African content, and that is actually helping and enabling this young and also the seasoned film directors and producers to create more content. Before, you know, it used to take someone 10 to 15 years to make a movie. Now, you know, it can take you 6 to 8 months to make a good movie.
And of those 60 films, I beg your pardon, you've got so much deliciousness, right? Because you've got everything from Brazil to West Africa to South Africa as well. But there's a particular one that I'm interested in, Osmane Sembene's flick that you will be showing, a timeless classic.
Yes, I mean, we've got 32 countries have been represented at this year's edition of the film festival. Yes, I mean, we are paying homage to Sembene, not just to Sembene, but other old classics. We've got 6 classics that have been restored by the Africa Film Heritage Foundation and the Martin Scorsese Foundation and UNESCO. So these movies have been restored, they've been digitalized, so that the young generation can be able to see them in, you know, a proper, you know, screen today. So yes, we are bringing Black Girl again. We did showcase in 2016 at the film festival, and we are bringing it back again. And it is a very beautiful classic and a beautiful story. And I mean, it is one of the first films that the world have seen that is produced by an African, a writer and a scholar, being Sembene.
What does this mean, right, especially for South Africa being able to pull this off? I think this is what, the 5th year running?
Yes.
This will be.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the 5th edition of the festival. Yes, obviously, 2 years of COVID, we had to take a break. We had to step back and realize on how we're going to come back. And now we are back. And when we are back, what is the next 5 years of the Joburg Film Festival? And the next 5 years of the Joburg Festival is not just an event, but we are creating an institution. An institution that is going to enable young and unearthed young film directors, producers, writers, storytellers. So that's what we're going to be doing in the next 5 years. And also, hopefully by 2026, 2027, we'll be able to have a Joburg Film Academy that will launch with our partners going forward.
Speaking of institution, you did mention that there's a lot to the program. It's not just the screening of the films. There'll also be panel discussions. What are some of the themes that you'll be taking a look at?
Look, I mean, we have got Sisterhood Friday that is going to be hosted by Tabile Mwato and Swift Sisters working in television and film. That's going to happen on Friday. It's going to be a whole day of women talking about their challenges in the television and film industry, and also mapping the way forward. And also we've got industry discussions. We've got topics around Nigeria and South Africa, the co-production treaty between South Africa and Nigeria in terms of cross-border co-production with the U.S., with Nigeria and other countries. We've got obviously a session about mental health because, as you know, most of the creatives, they go through depression. So we also have a session about that. And also we've got quite a lot in store. We've got also about trends, product placement. What does it mean now in terms of how do we bring product placement into storytelling and when we write these films. So there's quite a lot in store. We've got some of these sessions some of them they're very fully booked, and we've got also a masterclass with Jimmy Louis, who comes from the US. He's a Haitian film actor. He's going to do a masterclass. We've got also a masterclass on Friday by Tai Salesi, who is actually an African film director, writer, and quite a lot in store in terms of the industry program. And obviously, again, tomorrow we'll be launching our Film Society. Our Film Society is going to be a program that happens every month, whereby every month we'll be showcasing a new film, and we'll be bringing a get-together of young people and old people to have a conversation about films.
Do you find that people are interested in the stories that Africans, not only African, maybe let me just bring it home. Do you find that people are interested in the stories that Africans want to tell? Is there an interest? Maybe if you gauge over the past 4 years, the response to the film festival, are we interested in knowing where we come from and who we are?
Absolutely. I mean, the streamers has proven that local content drives people to watch. To be engaged on Showmax. I mean, programs like The Wife. I mean, they've been big, and everyone wants to watch it. Watch local content. So local content is a very key driver to make sure that people watch these films. But also we export a lot of our content. Our content is in huge demand, not just in the US or in South America, but also in Asia. The Asians are having a huge interest in African content today.
You hear when you're growing up and you're doing that subject selection in grade 10 and you're like, but I want to see if I can pursue filmmaking, and your parents are like, Otojang. So monetizing it as well and making it lucrative so people can be able to live off of their work.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a multi-billion rand industry there, this is a multi-billion industry. It's a serious business. I mean, I know that, at some point when I was young, I also wanted to study law, but I started going to study advertising, and it was very difficult for you to convince your parents. But today, young people have proven to the world that it is it's a career, and it's a career that is lucrative. And it's a career that is also technical. It's not just about writing. Yeah. It's technical. There's quite a lot. I mean, if you look at today, we're in studio here. There are people that are recording this. There are technicians. So there is a lot in terms of the value chain of content creation. It's not just about you acting, but it's also behind the scenes. So it's quite a lot. It's a multi-billion rand industry, and obviously it contributes 5% of the U.S. GDP comes from film industry.
Absolutely. Your message to young people, because I know you've also got a youth wing of, trying to impart the skills and the knowledge in terms of what young people can learn from those who've walked this journey.
Look, what we've done is that we've got a youth and audience development program that goes to five townships in the region of Gauteng. So we go to Ekurhuleni, Sidibe, Mohale, Tshwane, and Joburg. And what we do with that, we're actually taking these programs to the young people that don't have the privilege to know what happens behind the scenes in terms of how do you end up having this film on whether it's on TV or whether it's in cinema. So we have that program. We run that program for 2 days, for 2 months as we did this program. But what's important about that program, we also run a competition for young people to shoot a film for 5 minutes on their phones to tell us what is cool about that township. And then the winner of that will actually win a bursary to go and study film, so to pursue their career. And then thanks to Movie Room, they are sponsoring that award. And we hopefully that will be unearthing more and more talent with this youth and audience development program. But follow your dreams. The sky is the limit, and African content is king, and we are going to amortize it, and it's not going to be cheap anymore. And from now on, you know what? I think the world is ready, and it's ready for Africa.
And the young ones say super dope. Okay, so if I could put you on the spot and you give us one film that you say, you have to see this. Just one film that touches you.
Look, I mean, you know, Musa Abbas we're opening a film with Khale by Musa Abbas. He's a Senegalese filmmaker. I mean, he's a guy that walked the path with the likes of Simbeni. And his movie has been nominated to the Oscars. And we hopefully that is one of the films. And obviously, the other one is Frida that I think I would also want to watch. And again, Vusi Africa is back again with Surviving Gaza. So those are my 3 picks, but there is quite a lot in store.
Awesome. So it is Sandton. You can catch the films. You can catch it where else? We
can catch the films at Tekeniko and Sandton, Cinema Novo in Rosebank, Mapunya Mall, Pascope in 44 Stanley, and Theatre on the Square as well. Theatre on the Square. And also we've got a VR session that we introduced into the film festival. It's going to be cool to watch virtual reality movies as well.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming through and giving us
Thank you, and I hope to see you at the film festival, and make sure that you do go and watch.
And everybody in the background is like, yes, and the crew were there.
Merci. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tim. More still to come for you in a few moments.